there are lots of challenges, and they often can become opportunities if you think about them the right way. But what are some of, or one of the biggest challenges you feel like the marketing industry is facing going into 2023?
People push back against needing to move quickly because there are a lot of reasons why people don't like it. They aren't comfortable with it. They're worried they're going to make a poor decision. It's not the way we did it before. All that sort of stuff. But fundamentally, you're going to have a competitive advantage if you can move faster than everybody else. And the pace of change in general is not slowing down. It's always say, I've been saying it for 15 years, that this is the slowest change is ever going to be in our lifetime again. Still true, and it's even faster all the time. And so being able to keep up with that, whether that speed is adapting, whether it's writing, whether it's making decisions, all of that stuff is key. And as things get more complex, finding ways to actually simplify that and make decisions, informed decisions, faster is going to be key. So that's the big challenge, just because it's so much easier said than done.
One that, everybody should be thinking about, not just technologists or your data people or your digital people, is all the privacy changes that is happening. And I think it's really going to revolutionize and change the way people think about measurement, the way that people think about like investing in media, and ROAS and metrics are going to change. Google is changing the way you look at GA4. So I think it's going to be a lot of education that you have to provide to your teams on how do you look at investments, and you're going to pivot. You're going to change the way you invest. So I think that is a really big area that alongside supply chain inflation and everything else. But I think this is one area where dollars really are going to be the way they are sort of interpreted today in terms of profitability is going to change.
I think the talent question is always top of mind for large scale marketers like ourselves. We need to continue to cultivate and build that pipeline, provide experiences to younger talent that allows them to fail, grow, execute, make impact into the organization. So for me, it's figuring out how do I attract, cultivate, and build, in essence, a startup-esque type of ecosystem within a large multinational like General Motors is, one of the challenges that we spend a lot of time thinking about that, the industry as marketers, I think, as I talk to my peer set, are always challenged. How do we make sure we're building the right community, the next generation that's going to take marketing to the next level?
What I've been thinking about a lot is evolving the media mix, and what does that include? And I think influencer marketing is now really become much more apparent that it is part of paid media. It is not just a PR, it's not an endorsement deal. You need to put paid behind it to see scale. And that's a different type of content compared to brand content. So how does that become part of your holistic campaign? And then how do you measure it to see how it's performing? So I think the evolution of the media mix, influencer marketing, one, what we just talked about, but also like product placement, getting your brands in places that are not ad supported. So we're looking at those to make sure that we can be ahead of the curve.
So I think one of the more industry-specific challenges that I would love to kind of be more a part of the solution of, and how do we continue to push, is how DEI and responsible marketing really becomes more of a systematic change and isn't necessarily about some of the more superficial things, right? Like, we've done a great job saying that we value it, right? And we've done a great job saying we're going to look at representation in our work and in our programming, but there's so much more in the ecosystem of marketing that needs to be explored, needs to be challenged, needs to be rebuilt. And people need the appetite and the investment of time and just energy in making that work. So I think that is probably one of our larger challenges as an industry that we've got to start putting both our money and our time and our focus into actually changing.
I think the biggest challenge is in that inclusion space. I think the single biggest challenge is to create mechanisms so that the companies that are being built in this space have the skills and tools that they need to be able to be successful, so that they can help the advertising organizations be successful. And that's what we fail to realize, that this is about the entire industry helping the ecosystem build. You're talking about an ecosystem that has been woefully underinvested in, that has been historically challenged, and at the same time have won to the best of their ability, even outside of the adversity, but offer the greatest opportunity for growth.